I wasn't planning on ever telling this story. Even now, it's hard to breathe when I think about it. My therapist says talking helps, but she doesn't know what really happened. Not all of it. No one does. It started in 2013, right after I got divorced. I was 25, newly single, and had just taken a job as a night auditor at a boutique hotel in upstate New York. It wasn't glamorous, but it paid enough and came with free housing, room 313. The hotel had been a maternity hospital back in the 1930s, converted into a hotel in the late 80s. That's important. You'll understand why. Room 313 was small, just a bed, a tiny desk, a built-in wardrobe with warped sliding doors, and a yellowing ceiling fan that groaned whenever it turned. The window faced the alley, where dumpsters were lined up and shadows liked to linger. The first night I moved in, I heard the lullaby. It was faint. I assumed it was someone outside with a music box. The melody was slow and strangely off, like the notes weren't quite right. Think of a child's lullaby, but the notes are slightly flat and dragging like a warped vinyl record. It played for maybe 20 seconds, then silence. I thought nothing of it. The next night I heard it again, same tune, same 20 seconds. Only this time it felt closer, like it was being hummed right outside my door. I opened it, no one there. Just that awful yellow hallway light flickering overhead and the hallway stretching dead and empty. Still, I shrugged it off. Maybe someone was playing a prank. Then it happened a third night, but this time I wasn't alone. My coworker Aiden came over after his shift to hang out. He was funny, into true crime podcasts and weird ghost stories. We were watching some grainy found footage horror movie when the lullaby started. Aiden froze. "Do you hear that?" he asked. I muted the TV. The lullaby was drifting through the walls. Faint, but wrong. Like something out of an old broken music box left underwater for decades. He stood, walked to the wall, pressed his ear to it. "It's coming from the room next door," he whispered. The room next door, room 315, was supposed to be vacant. The night audit log confirmed it hadn't been booked in over 2 months. We went into the hallway. I knocked on 315. No answer. Aiden turned the knob. It opened. The room was pitch black. We used our phone flashlights. There was no one there. Just a cold draft and this awful smell like baby powder and rot. But here's the thing. On the bed sat a dusty, broken baby monitor. It was unplugged, yet that lullaby, still playing. Then it stopped, abruptly. I looked at Aiden. He looked at me. He said, "We need to leave." The next day, we told the manager, Craig. He was an ex-Marine type, all logic and short fuses. He brushed it off. "Old pipes make sounds. You both probably heard something from the HV sac." But Aiden started digging. He found old renovation plans for the hotel, back when it was the St. Margaret maternity home. There was a nursery ward on the 3rd floor. It was where 313 to 318 now stood. But here's where it gets sick. He found a newspaper clipping from 1942. Infant deaths raise questions at local maternity home. 7 infants died mysteriously in a span of 3 weeks. No official cause ever determined. Just sudden, silent deaths during the night. Parents were told it was SIDS, but the rumors were darker. Some staff claimed they'd heard a woman singing a lullaby right before the deaths. The article didn't mention her name, just a midwife with a strange lullaby and wandering habits. The hospital was shut down a year later, quietly. That night, Aiden didn't come over. He texted saying he wasn't feeling well. Around 1 a.m., I heard the lullaby again, only this time, it didn't stop after 20 seconds. It grew louder. It felt like it was crawling along the walls, like fingers dragging through dust, singing just for me. I turned every light on. The room got freezing. My breath fogged in the air. The bulb in my desk lamp exploded. I screamed. And then I heard crying. A baby. Muffled, distant, but unmistakable. It was coming from inside my wardrobe. My legs wouldn't move. I wanted to run, but couldn't. Crying grew louder. I yanked the wardrobe open. Empty. Except there was something scratched on the back wall in red. Not paint, not marker, something else. It read, "She never stops singing." The next morning, Aiden was found dead in his apartment. Heart failure. He was 27. At the funeral, I spoke to his sister. She said he'd become obsessed with a woman named Dolores Lancaster, one of the midwives at St. Margaret's. She was suspected of harming infants, but they never proved anything. She disappeared in 1943. I went back to room 13 that night. I know I should have left, but something about the lullaby, I couldn't walk away from it. like it was in my blood now. I made a decision. I set up my phone to record overnight, audio only. I placed it on the desk and went to bed with the lights on. At 2:13 a.m., I woke up to the sound of someone humming in the corner of my room. I couldn't see anyone, but I felt her. The air was thick. It smelled like burnt milk and old fabric. I didn't dare move. I just stared at the corner. And then the humming shifted. It wasn't just the lullaby anymore. She was whispering something over it, a name, over and over again. Emily, Emily, hush little Emily. I threw up. When I played back the audio the next day, I nearly dropped my phone. The recording started off silent, then around 2:13, there it was, the humming, the lullaby, and a woman's voice, whispering directly into the mic, clear as day. She's almost ready, almost born. Almost born. I left the hotel that day, quit without notice. Slept in my car for 2 nights. Weeks passed. I moved to Vermont, tried to forget. But I couldn't, because the lullaby followed me. Some nights I'd hear it coming through my car speakers when the radio was off. Other times my niece's baby monitor would play it just for a second before going silent. Once I found a baby doll in my apartment. I don't own dolls. No one else had a key. Its head was cracked. It was leaking something pinkish and thick. That same day, I got a call from a blocked number. A woman's voice whispered, "It's your turn to sing." I smashed the phone. But every now and then, around 2:13 a.m., I hear it, the same melody. And lately, I've been humming it in my sleep. My sister recorded me once, sitting upright in bed, eyes wide open, singing in a woman's voice that wasn't mine. We did a DNA test just for curiosity's sake a month ago. I got my results last week. There's a 0.2% match with someone named Dolores Lancaster. Apparently, she was my great-grandmother. They say trauma is inherited. Maybe the gift is too, because I don't just hear the lullaby anymore. Sometimes I hum it to others, and sometimes they don't wake up. They say the lullaby is only heard by those who are chosen, but no one tells you what you're chosen for until it's too late.